Today I will explain you about the execution of two-dimensional array in Java using VS Code. Before start of the execution, I will try to explain theory concept of two-dimensional array. So types of arrays in Java we have one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and jagged arrays. So today we'll see about two-dimensional array. By seeing this diagram, we can understand that it's a grid-like structure where rows and columns are available. And when you see this horizontal, these are called as rows. And when you see this vertical, these are called as columns. So I can say that the two-dimensional array is a collection of rows and columns. And if you take the intersection point of this one and this one, which is nothing but the row and column, is called as a cell. And the array index start from 0. So you can see 0 index, 1, 2 till n minus 1 when you talk about rows. Similarly for the columns, 0 to n minus 1. So if you want to access the first cell, I need to write a of 0 of 0. So the first subscript is going to represent for rows. The second subscript is for the columns. So here the first row, first column. Here first row, second column. So 1 implies the second column because the index is starting from 0. So the 1 index implies the second column. Then first row, third column. So like that it goes till n minus 1. Similarly, second row. Second row also, the index is starting, since it is starting from 0, it becomes 1 index. So they are all the index numbers. They're all the index numbers. So if you want to access any element from this two-dimensional array, I need to use the combination of rows and columns. So the first subscript is a row, the second subscript is a column. Now a two-dimensional array, also known as a 2D array, is a collection of data elements arranged in a grid-like structure with rows and columns. So as we have seen in the previous slide, it is a collection of rows and columns. Each element in the array is referred to as a cell. So the intersection point of the rows and columns is called as a cell and can be accessed by its row and column indices or index numbers. So we have written a of 0 of 0. 0 is a index number for the row and the other 0 is for the column. So like that, any element you want to access in the two-dimensional array, we need to give the row and column index numbers. Now two-dimensional arrays can represent mathematical matrices in linear algebra and a wide range of data such as graphs, maps, and tables. Now in order to work out with these applications, I can use the two-dimensional arrays. And also two-dimensional arrays are commonly used in applications that involve data tables, image processing, and game development applications. Now coming to the syntax to declare a 2D array. Now data type with two subscripts. In single dimensional, we use only one subscript, and this is the AR, the array name. But here we need to use two subscripts. Or now here beside the data type only, we are having these two subscripts. Now you can see data type space, two subscripts near to the array name, or data type space the array name with two subscripts. So either way is correct. You can use any one. Now in order to instantiate, that is instantiation of an array in Java, where you need to allocate the memory. So you need to take the array reference variable. Now this AR is becoming an array reference variable. Assignment operator, then new operator which is used for allocating memory at runtime. Then followed by the data type. So what are the data type you are using here? The same data type we need to use here. Then you write the first subscript size for the rows, second subscript size for the columns. Suppose I write 3 and 3. So 3 rows, 3 columns. You're going to get the memory locations. Example. Now int data type. Here the data type is integer, followed by 2 subscripts, space, then the array name, assignment operator, new, and again the data type. Same data type what you're writing here should be represented here. Then 3 for the first subscript, 3 for the second subscript. So first subscript represents the rows, number of rows. The second subscript represents the number of columns. So now by this basic idea, I'll show you a few programs of two-dimensional array in VS Code. So let me open the VS Code environment. So you need to have the VS Code software in your system, and in search bar if you type Visual Studio Code, you're going to get this, provided you have a software in your system. Now this is the environment of the VS Code. Now already in the previous video I was showing how to create the folder in VS environment in order to store all the Java files. So you can refer to the previous videos, and also in the previous video, like one-dimensional array topics I have covered, and also what is an array and what is the advantage disadvantage of array I have covered in the previous video. You can just go through. Now this is one folder I have created. In that we have some applications. So now we'll see how the two-dimensional array is being used in these applications. So now if you can see this program, we're writing public, class, and class name. So any program in Java starts with the class, or any variable or any method you need to compulsorily put in class. So we need to define a class with the class keyword, and this public is nothing but an access specifier where you can access this particular class by other classes within the package and outside the package also. Now public static void main, and this main is an entry point for execution. And in the initial videos I have already given the description about these keywords. You can just go through the previous videos. Now this is an my numbers is an array name, and here I am creating an int two-dimensional array because I put 2 subscripts. Now here you need to open this is called a static initialization. I'm not using new. If I use new, the memory is allocated runtime, but here the memory is allocated compilation time. Now you need to open the flower brace. Then internally you need to again use the flower brace. Now here inside this I'm writing 1 2 3 4, and I'm closing this flower brace. You can see in yellow color. So this particular flower brace internally is one row. Now one row is having 4 elements. So each element is considered as one column. So this is a first row with the, that means if I talk about index number, it will become a 0 index number. But when I talk about columns, 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, and 3 index, like that. Now second row, you can see one more flower brace, open and closed. Here I'm writing 5, 6, 7. So second row is holding 3 elements, that is 3 columns. First row is holding 4 elements. So totally 2 rows, and one is holding 4 columns. The second row is holding 3 columns. Now suppose if at all I want to print an element like array name, first row, that is the index number 1, that means this one. Okay, this is becoming index number 1 row. This is becoming index number 0 row. Okay, so here they're asking to go for 1. So we go for this. And in that, which column they want to extract? So this is 2 index number. So in this row, the 5 is a 0 index, 6 is 1 index and 7 is 2 index. So if you want to retrieve any element from two-dimensional array, it's compulsory that you need to give the index numbers of row and column both. So here I have done the same thing. So this particular row is a 0 index row and this is 1 index row when I talk about rows. When I talk about second one, you need to talk about the column index number. So you go to this particular row, this is 0 index, this one is 1 index and this is 2 index. So my expected answer is 7. So you just save the file and here you have a run code button. Just press that and here you can see the output is displayed like 7. Okay, so we are extracting this element. So this is one application. I'll show you other application. Now this is one more application where the class name I've defined a two-dim array, that is two-dimensional array. Then in main method, you can see again the same static installation I'm doing. So two subscripts you need to put for two-dimensional array. And here again the static installation, this is first row, second row, and a third. So every row is we are having two elements. But when you talk about the index number for the rows, this is becoming 0 index, this is becoming 1 index, and this is becoming 2 index. When I talk about number of rows. Now when I say number of columns per row, here we have 2 columns, second row 2 columns, third row 2 columns. If I talk about index number, this first column is becoming 0 index, second column is becoming 1 index. So like that. Now I want to print all the elements. Like I want to print 1, 2 in the first row, second row I want to print 3, 4, third row I want to print 5, 6. So how do you print that? So I'm writing system.out.println initialized two-dimensional array that you will get as it is. Now we are taking nested for loop. Nested for loop. So the outer for loop, if you can check out this, this is for the rows. So I less than 3. 3 is nothing but a row count, and inner loop is for the columns per row. So if I take first row, how many columns are there? 2 columns. So I need to go for 2 here. Second row, again 2 columns. Third row, again 2 columns. So every iteration or every row, we are talking about 2 columns here. Okay, so just remember that the outer for loop is for the row, the inner for loop is for the column per row. Now, I want to print the data. So we are writing system.print a of I and j. So initially I value is 0, j value is also 0. So if you take these three, this is the 0 row and 0 column means you get this 1 as an answer. Okay, then the j value get incremented. J value get incremented, not I value, because whenever the inner loop is failed, then only we go for the outer loop. So j was 0, 0 less than 2, it is okay. So it was true, you get 1 here. But again j plus plus, j has become 1. 1 less than 2, the condition is true. Then here, still the I value is 0 only. So a of 0 and 1. If I talk a of 0, 1, you get this 2 as an answer. Because this I value 0 means the first row, 1 means the second column. Now j becomes 3 here. 3 less than 2, the condition is failed. Now it goes back to I and increment from 0 to 1. 1 less than 3, the condition is true. Again you get into the inner loop. Again j is initialized with 0. So here I can say a of I means a of 1, j is 0. So 1 implies this one. 0 implies 3 value. Then again j becomes, j is initially 0, right? Now it is becoming 1. 1 less than 2, the condition is true, but still I value is 1 only. So a of 1 comma 1, you get 4. When j is becoming 2, 2 less than 2, the condition is failed. Again, go for incrementation of I becomes 2. 2 less than 3, the condition is true. Then again j is initialized to 0. So the meaning is a of 2 comma 0. You get 5. A of 2 comma 1, you get 6 value. So like that, the inner loop works with column, the outer loop works with the row. So here the most important part what you need to see here is you need to go for the index numbers. So after printing every row value, the inner loop is out, then this line get executed for the next line. Then again the outer loop incrementation starts. So you get the answer like 1, 2 in first row, 3, 4 in second row, and 5, 6 in the third row, because I am trying to put a println statement. Here internally we write only print with one spacing. So if you can see the output, you can understand. Save and you just run this. Okay, there is some error. I'll save it. Just rerun. Now here you can see 1, 2 in first row, then this println works here. Go for the next line. Then again 3, 4, again this println works, and 5, 6. So every row you're getting that particular columns. First row, second row, and third row. So this is one application. I'll show one more application. Matrix addition. Now this is a very common program where we use two-dimensional array. So here the class name is matrix addition, then main method. Now we are taking two-dimensional arrays. One is A and one is B, and you can see two subscripts and static initialization is going on. So here first row, second row, and third row. Then similarly for B matrix also, first row, second row, and third row. And I've taken some values here, and every row we have 3 values. First row 3, second row 3, and third row 3 for matrix A. Similarly for B also. Some random values are taken. So when you add these two, you need to store again in 3 rows and 3 columns concept, right? So I'm taking one empty array here. The array name is C. You can say int C with 2 subscripts equal to new int of 3 by 3. So 3 rows, 3 columns. Now this is an empty matrix where you need to store your answer. Because when you add A matrix and B matrix, the results need to be stored in C matrix. So 3 by 3 you are having for A, 3 by 3 you are having for B. So obviously your answer need to be in 3 by 3 only. So I'm creating an empty matrix here. Now I'm trying to print the values of matrix A. So the same technique what I was explaining in the previous program, the same technique, the outer loop, 3 rows. For every row there is a 3 columns. So the condition is j less than 3. And you're going to print A of 0, 0, A of 0, 1, A of 0, 2. Then again A of 1, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 2. Then 2, 0, 2, 1, and 2, 2. So like that you're going to print the values. Like you're going to get 1, 5, 4. Next line 3, 8, 2. Next line 6, 7, 8. Okay. Similarly for the B matrix, what are the values you have given here, right? 1, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2, and 1, 2, 4 again. So those values are been printed here. Same again 3 by 3 matrix, right? So here the condition has been less than 3, and because the index number is starting from 0, 0, 1, and 2. Column is also starting from 0 index, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so you are going to print the B matrix values. And finally, I'm trying to store the answer addition. You can see here also the outer loop and inner loop 3 by 3 we are taking. And here we need to add for every row, every column from matrix A need to be added with every row, every column value. So A of ij to be added with B of ij and store in C of ij. If suppose I'm taking A of 0, 0 value added with B of 0, 0 value, and when I get the addition that you need to put in C of 0, 0. So like that, next one will be A of 0, 1 plus B of 0, 1 store in C of 0, 1. Okay, So you need to store your answer into this matrix. So that is why we have created an empty matrix. And finally, you need to put your answer here. Print. And for every inner loop, when the condition is failed, you need to print one line. Then only you are going to get your output in case of matrix. Okay, so I'll show the execution here. Just save this file and run. Still there is a problem. Once again you save, rerun your application. Okay, let me check the braces. It's closed. This one is closed. This is fine. Yes. Okay, everything is fine. Just save once again and run. Now here you can see we are having the elements of matrix A 1, 5, 4, 3, 8, 2, and 6, 7, 8 in 3 different rows. And every row we are having 3 columns. Similarly for B matrix 1 to 4, 1, 4, 2, and 1 to 4, what we have already defined here. Then finally elements of matrix C we are going to get here. Suppose if I take this one from elements of matrix A, that is A of 0, 0, need to add it with B of 0, 0, this one. So 1 plus 1, 2. So you're going to get C of 0, 0 as a 2 1 answer. Suppose if I take A of 0, 1 is 5, then B of 0, 5 is 0, 1 is 2, then C of 0, 1 is 7 because 5 plus 2, 7. So like that you get all the values added. Okay, so you are getting the matrix in this format, then save. Then I will show one more application where for matrix subtraction. In this, the same program, only the change you are going to do is you are going to put minus symbol in place of addition. Only that change you need to do. So that when you execute your application, you can see 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, then 5 minus 2, 3. Then 4 minus 4 is 0. So like that you are going to get. So in this way you can apply the two-dimensional arrays into these applications, and we can develop such applications maybe for further requirement. So I hope you understood this tutorial, and if you like, please share and subscribe. Thank you.